What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of MavAttack. So I've been watching Tokyo Game Show over the past few days, and Konami decided to release some of that Metal Gear Online gameplay. So what I'm here to do is analyze what I was seeing, give you guys some details, some facts, some info, all that good stuff. So to start off, Metal Gear Online is going to be its own separate mode, kind of similar to the way that Grand Theft Auto 5 did Grand Theft Auto Online. Grand Theft Auto 5 is a base game, and then you go to a separate mode that is Grand Theft Auto Online. Same thing here with Metal Gear Solid 5. Customizing. Now, it looks like you can customize a plethora of characters. You can do so much customization, and there's going to be leveling in the game. So right off the bat, we see a customized character at the main menu screen. Now, it goes in to show you that you can either select from characters that you have previously made and customized, and it shows their ranks in there, and you can pick between different people. You can also choose to play as the avatar that you created at the beginning of Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Or you can go in and customize your own brand new avatar to play online. You can choose from male, female. You can give different hairstyles, different face styles. You can mesh it with a lot of customization features, which I always love customizations. Now, moving on from there, once you pick your character, you can actually pick from 3 different classes so far, at least from what I'm seeing, 3 different classes. Now, first on the list is the Infiltrator class. Now, this class is stealth oriented. This is for players that want to go in nice and stealthy. They want to be under the radar. They want to be a ghost on the battlefield, so to speak. And each class has its own special ability. So for the Infiltrator class, you can go invisible for a certain amount of time, which kind of cloaks you. You can still be seen, but you're cloaked on the battlefield, which makes it a little more harder. Your visibility is a little bit lower. Next up, we got the Scout class. Now, obviously, Scout class is pretty typical in shooter games and in online multiplayer games. The Scout class is the sniper class. This is the one that stays off in the distance, marks enemies for people, which he can actually mark enemies a lot faster, and you can basically neutralize from a distance. And the final class is the Enforcer class. This is for everybody that wants to go in with a big ass suit, guns blazing, you know what I'm saying, go in Rambo, shooting up everything for your teammates, you know, being on the front line, taking aggro. So these are just the basic 3 main classes, and I'm not sure if they're going to announce more later on. Moving on to game modes. Now, what I noticed from the mission selector is you can actually select a current playlist, or you can create your own custom class, which makes for awesome competitive games. And this opens up the possibility to have your team play against your friend's team, and you can have all the team members come in, invite everybody into the lobby and play, which means that my squad, the Maniacal Maverick squad, will be coming for your guys' teams. Let's do this. This is going to be freaking exciting, but you can choose between that and a set amount of playlists. Now, the game modes that we have seen so far in the game, there is one which is called Comm Control. Now, this is basically your domination type game mode. There are certain points spread around the map, and your team has to do their best to capture each point and hold that for as long as humanly possible. So that's one of the objective-based game modes. Now, the other 2 that they went into more detail on is the Cloak and Dagger mode, which is a 1 life only, no respawn. Basically, what I'm understanding from it is you have to get these data discs from your enemy. So there's one team that is defending and they have lethal weapons, while the ones that are attacking to get the data discs are more stealth-based, more stealth-oriented, and want to be more hidden to sneak into their compound and steal these data discs from the enemy. So that is Cloak and Dagger. And then the final one is called the Bounty Hunter mode. Now, this is your basic standard team deathmatch game mode, but it has a little twist to it. It's not just based on kills and deaths. You actually get points towards your team for fultoning other enemies, which we'll talk about in a second, for spotting enemies, for helping your teammates out. There's different ways to earn points, and these points actually go towards your team total, which in turn, if you tie up the game, and I'll explain this in a second as well, but if you tie up the game, then it comes down to who has the most points on their team total, and whoever has the most points ends up winning the tiebreaker round. So each player has a bounty over their head, and it's a little yellow symbol, and it's a plus in however many people that person did kill. So say I'm on my squad and I've killed like 6 of the enemy team, well, my bounty score is going to be a 6. So what the other team can actually do is, if they decide to non-lethal me, knock me out, and fulton me back, however high my bounty score is, that will add to the other player's ticket score. So if their team has a ticket score of 21 and we only have 5, and we're about to lose the game, if I fulton somebody back that has 10 bounty score, we actually get 15 tickets. Now, the game has completely turned in your favor, and you do have a chance to bring it back and win. Each game has 2 rounds. Now, you play the first round as the attacking team, and the second round as the defending team, or you just switch sides depending on what game mode you're playing. And you play for 1 round, and then you play for 2 rounds. If you beat 2 rounds, obviously you win the game. But if you win 1 round, and then you actually lose the second round, then it goes into the tiebreaker where your team score goes into consideration. So say you win the first round, and then the enemies come back on you on the second round and take over the second round. Then it comes down to your team score, and whoever has the highest team score takes the game for themselves, so there is no tiebreaker around. Now, just a few different details about Metal Gear Online, just some basic level stuff. Now, this is going to be 16-player matches, which is 8v8 player matches. Metal Gear Online does release October 6th for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Xbox One, and Xbox 360, so PC actually has to wait until next year. Now, I noticed that Metal Gear Online 3, which this is the third iteration of Metal Gear Online, this iteration of Metal Gear Online 3 is very westernized. And when I say westernized, I mean they took away the Japanese influence from what they had in Metal Gear Online 2, and they're bringing more of a casual approach, I would say. I mean, I'm not taking away from the fact that it will be tactical. It does look very tactical, and you can play that way with your clan, but it's a little more fast-paced, and it seems like it's geared way more to fit in with the faster-paced game style of Metal Gear Solid 5. It may just be for demo's sake. They wanted to speed up the gameplay so you see more of what's going on. But then again, I did watch a floor demo where it was just people killing each other non-stop. It wasn't presentation purposes. So it was very fast-paced in that respect. Now, there's another feature that they showed that I'm actually a huge fan of. There's a buddy system. Now, when you start off the round, your whole squad starts together. Everybody on your team starts together. So if you and your buddy come into the game together, you actually stand by each other. One salutes the other, and as you salute at the same time, you guys become connected through a buddy system. And that basically enables you to see everybody that your buddy sees. And if your buddy is a scout, for example, you can actually see who he's aiming at and where he's aiming at in the way of a blue laser sight that you can see him aiming, you know, to an enemy. So you actually are linked through a buddy system, and you can always see dynamically where your buddy is. You can know if your buddy needs help on the battlefield, whether he's being Fultoned or you need to go help him. So there are tons of things to analyze. I mean, even down to the teams. One team is Team Liquid, the other one's Team Solid, which I like that little twist on the game. Now, map variation, I did like the Cloak and Dagger maps that I saw. Very expanse maps, very big. There are a lot of sniper spots that you can get up and recon the area. There are a lot of close quarter spots that you can get into. A lot of choke points that you can hold down and defend. It's going to be a really, really fun game mode, this specific Cloak and Dagger. I did watch the other Team Deathmatch like one, and I will probably generally stick to the Cloak and Dagger game mode. It's a little less chaotic, a little more team-based, and obviously it's a one-lifer. I love one-lifer game mode, so that's definitely something I'll be getting into. Another thing that was announced is playing as unique characters. Now, I don't know what exactly gives you the privilege to play as these characters. I'm assuming it's more Star Wars Battlefront 2-esque. The way that they let you play as one of the Jedi Knights or the Sith Lords, as in, you know, a certain cooldown happens or you get to a certain team score, and then boom, Darth Vader is there, appearing there for you to play as, or you just select one of the unique characters from the jump. But basically, you get the chance to play as Revolver Ocelot, you know, using his dual revolvers, and he has a special skill to where he can ricochet bullets off the wall and it will bounce. And Big Boss was also shown using his rocket fist, so you can use your rocket fist on the battlefield as well. You can use decoys on the battlefield like cardboard box, or instead of the nudie magazine, you know, dropping the nudie magazine on the ground and letting the soldiers stare at it and get all mesmerized like MGO2, you can actually set up a little puppy, a little toy puppy, and then when people are reconning, trying to scout the area and find enemies, and they happen to look upon your puppy that you set down, they get mesmerized and they just sit there and you can't move, and you're mesmerized by the puppy. And so it's a cool way to bring that humor back from the previous MGOs in the way of, you know, nudie magazine set on the ground to just this little puppy that completely distracts you. And I'm sure that there's going to be other ways to distract enemies as well, but this is just the one way I saw. You can hijack enemy walker gears if you're tactical enough and you can get around them. You can also sneak up behind enemies and go in for a grab, where you can then interrogate them to see where all of their teammates are on the map, or other teammates that they have on the map. You can see where they're at and they'll snitch on you, or you can simply kill them or knock them out and Fulton them to get more points for your team score. And then, of course, customization. Customize. There's going to be so much customization by the gameplay trailer, and I'm going to put the gameplay trailer in the link in the description below so you guys can go watch that for yourself. There's tons of customization, as we can see by this screen that you see on screen at the moment. You see there's a clown on the bottom of the screen, you know, somebody has a kitten on their head, somebody has a fish on their head, so it's shaping up to be a really awesome online experience. Now, you guys are going to see this heavy on the channel. I'm letting you guys know right now I'm doing a series of this game on the channel, so we're going to switch gears from single player gameplay and FOB gameplay on the channel to strictly Metal Gear Online. I'm going to continue doing FOBs, but the only time that I will do them is when I live stream. So everybody that comes to the live streams, we're going to do the FOBs together, and everybody on the channel will see Metal Gear Online moments and gameplay, because it's going to be a freaking blast. So attack that like button if you guys are ready for that. And just some quick commentary before we take off. I just wanted to say that I realize that this game is really out of the box for Metal Gear Online, and some of you vets know that it is very different. Very, very different. and not a lot of people are open to change. I've been seeing a lot of people saying this is garbage. You guys lied to us. This is not what we expected. This is not what we wanted. You have to be open to change. This Metal Gear Solid game is not a Metal Gear Solid game. As much as I want to say like it's a great game. Great freaking game. Awesome freaking game. Gameplay mechanics are fun. Open world does get boring at times because there's not too much to do outside of side ops and replaying story missions. There's not a lot of dynamic stuff to do out in Afghanistan and in Africa and everything. So the game is a lot different from what Metal Gear has been. And so this iteration of Metal Gear Online is going to tailor itself and going to change the way it is based off of its base game. So of course it's not going to be what we expected in the past, but it still seems like an awesome online experience, one that I couldn't be more excited for. I'm just loving what I'm seeing so far. So all you He-Mans stay rad, and all you She-Mans stay fab. Thank you guys all so very much for everything. And I hope you guys enjoyed this next video that I put out. It's Metal Gear unrelated, so no more Metal Gear for the time being. But thank you guys very much, and I hope you guys enjoy this. But I'll see you guys all on the next episode. MavAttack. Motherfucker! What is going on with this? Still cute though.